size for those
From memory, there's, I think, 300 meters. Yeah.
and you're quite confident that that size is enough to hide the temperature point that might see them.
Oh, definitely.
Stop you seeing visitors.
Yeah. Coming here. The 300 meters is a very usable grid size, as I've been informed, for geospatial analysis. Anything bigger than, say, 500, it suddenly becomes in their view, becomes not meaningless, but it loses its potency, as it were. With regard to the Bioweb data, for one of the modules, we have set up a interface to the website, and that's this one. These are all threatened species, so we had to be sure that that information doesn't become too detailed, so people can actually go and poach. You can search by scientific name or by common name. Just want to see if this works. So I'll just choose a species. This is a common gecko.
Can I ask a question while we're waiting? Those 19 species of weeds, how were they discovered, or how did you choose those?
The 19 species of weeds were chosen after much debate, is my understanding, because every region has a set of priority weeds. So I don't know how the decision was made in the end, but 19 were chosen.
Right.
Yeah, we had 40.
Yeah.
We had 40, and I could see that 33 animal pests and 40 weeds, and then going to our staff would take 3 days to go through. So I managed to halve the amount of species for the weeds, just to make the whole project workable. So there's still 20 on the wish list for the Department of Conservation to take over.
Because the regional councils have their own list of
All those criteria were incorporated in choosing those weeds. Yeah, definitely. We can't go around that in that environment. So this is an example of an interface between Bioweb and the website, and information like all the text that you see here is a live connection to the database. So if I was in my environment, like a change of the scientific name, I can just change it in our database, directly show up straight away over here. The maps, so it's information about habitat, description, it's all from our database, straight from our database. And also the statistical information, if I add another record of this particular species, it'll show directly onto this site. The map itself, we update it once a month because we get probably about 15 records a month for, by species or something be added on. And I've got a contractor working in putting that into the database, and then I need to validate that information. So that gives us enough time to basically supersede this picture with a new picture. But the habitats are pretty succinct anyway. So a couple of more dots, you wouldn't really see, but this gives you an indication of all the data that is in Bioweb basically. At the moment, there's new research out for the tuatara. So we had 3 species of tuatara, and there are now 1 species of tuatara. So that's one thing that I need to do. It's the whole connection is not that fresh. So what I need to do in the database is basically merge the species from the 3 tuataras into 1, and I've got in my calendar just before the refresh of the map. I'm going to do that. So in the next refresh, we'll just have all the fossil records and the live records, the present records of where Tuatara lived will all be in one map. So that's how I can basically manipulate the system so we show accurate information on a month-by-month basis.
Yeah. When you say merge the two species, you mean make the map merge as opposed to merging, as opposed to changing species name in Bioweb?
Well, the species names in Bioweb, there'll be only one. The science says that there's only one, which is Stemodon punctatus. So the Cook Strait one will basically, their data will be basically merged into it, into the Stemodon punctatus data set.
Or would you keep the...
It's a subspecies to keep them separate, like we don't want to
No.
have to split them later.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
But we can split them. We can if we want to split them later. It's just geographical, you know. So we'll keep the synonym of that. Used to be called that, you know. So we've got a way around that. But that's what science says. That if they say jump, you know, jump.
I was thinking more of the technical aspect of changing the species name over time and how you manage that, because that's something that we struggle with our data.
Right.
Is that we'll call it one thing and we look in the link here, search website, find it's actually called something else.
Yeah.
And then find 6 months later that some other taxonomist thought that their original recommendation was about right. When you start merging species, you'll lose a little finesse when you then go to split them back up.
Yeah. What I'm going to do is I'm going to export a spreadsheet for Cook Strait Tuatara, okay, and that's all the data, and it has all the record numbers in there. If they want to merge it back, I can just pass on these ones, put them back into under a different species name.
In this, we have the same problem, you know, with changing names all over the show. And what we do is we keep the original name recorded, and then we link to Plant Names Database at Landcare, and we just develop the tool to update the synonymy. Because, you know, there is that problem, they'll change it, and then someone else will come along and debunk that and change it back, and you don't want to lose that information. And sometimes, you know, they might split something, so you don't know which your original record should go to anyway. So, yeah. So we've gone along the lines of developing a tool to update it and just retain its original one.
With
Yeah,
regard-
the names database at Landcare records all those changes in synonym, it's all linked together. So even if you're looking for a previous name, it will still you can track how the taxonomy's changed over time.
And we could do that with the synonym name.
Yeah.
Still a change of way of searching with the old name as well, you know, just in
Yeah, you
case.
can. Yeah,
Yeah, you can
That's,
do
you
that.
can.
But we don't have the ability in Bioweb to record, if we've merged those into one species, we don't have the ability to retain against each original observation within Bioweb what it was originally recorded as. That's something we've recorded as something for the future.
Yes,
to
to do.
Bioweb.
Yeah.